It's creative. It's all over the place. It's crafting with Maro. Da da da. Hey guys. So I'm all tied up in the quarantine vibes with nothing to do, and I've been considering making some candles. So we're gonna be upcycling candles, and I have a couple of old, antiquely beautiful candles which are no longer usable, and some dainty Christmas ones that have lost their wicks, leftover survival candles from when the lights goes out here. And basically I'm going to be putting these candles first in a hot water bath so that we can remove the insides and chop them up with the rest of the candles so we can remelt. Okay guys, so moving on to cell mode so you guys can check out the hot water bath. This is one of my last candles. I've put the other two in already. It slightly burnt myself. So you can see this one's already started to melt. And this one too. They don't have to stay very long. It's just so we can loosen up the wax. Trying to dig them out with a knife or something is pretty unrecommended with the fact that you might break the glass and hurt yourself. We will return to chopping these not so beautiful candles up. Okay, so we're back, and I'm going to start chopping up these candles. Also, I would like to suggest that if you have time or are doing this in a further date that isn't quarantine, that you buy some wicks so you can put in your candles. In my case, since I am abiding by quarantine rules, I am limiting my leaving of the house, and I'm using a cotton string that I will be submersing in wax. And you cut it to length, and you will use it in your candle. I still don't know if I'm gonna match the colors, the color types, if I'm gonna do a gradient, is that how it's called? A gradient, or maybe just mash all the colors together, which will probably bring out a weird brown color. We'll see. Either way, it's pretty simple. And since I don't really have the expertise, I don't have much to say about it. But hopefully you guys will try to eventually. Better than leaving around all this wax at your home and remembering that, of course, wax is bad for the medio ambiente, what's that called again? The ecology, the world ecology. It's pretty fucking shitty. It isn't recycled properly. And so we can do our best to try and upcycle the most without throwing it in the trash. Okay, so I've already mixed everything up. So apparently this is going to be a light purple. We'll go ahead with the rest of the whites. So what I tend to do is, if I'm doing a whole color, this is probably, I've melted wax before, I just haven't gotten into the whole making candles thing. But I'd suggest that you don't really care much about the wicks. I have a whole bunch of little wicks chopped up in between. I'm a bit lazy to remove them. So I just, I tend to put them with all the same colors that I want and melt and kind of just whisk out and sieve out the little wicks that have been cut up. So now we're gonna cut some string, melt some wax, preferably the white wax. It can be any color that you want though, and submerge a whole length of string because I have no clue how much I'm gonna use, so I'm just gonna do a whole lot. And start productions for layering our candle because I'm probably gonna do layers. Back at the stove. We are going to melt some wax. Hopefully that is enough. I cut my string in two as well because I decided that it was probably a wiser thing to do so I could submerge it fully. We now have 2 very long pieces of string. And I recommend that you have something to set it on top afterwards, because if you just start leaving wax like I'm doing around everywhere, things start getting sticky and a bit hard to deal with. We'll lower this fire a little bit. Okay, there you go. I love the smell of wax. It's one of those things that kind of gives you nostalgic remembrances from your childhood, messing with the little wax drops on your hand and letting it harden. There we go. Submerging most of the string, leaving a little edge so I don't burn myself, because this is going to be really, really fucking hot. I am not sure if you should probably double dip this. I'm going to try to put it as straight as possible. Huh. And repeat with the other string. I'm kind of hungry and it sounds like popcorn. The strings have hardened, as you can see. And I've separated these little silicone cups that are for muffins or cupcakes. And I'm going to try and use them as a base. They're cute. Maybe they won't handle keeping their shape. You can hear the wax bubbling in the background. Okay, so going back a little bit on what I said, I've decided that I'm just going to mix all the wax together. Since it's the first time I'm trying this out and I'm a bit lazy today, I'm just going to relieve my suffering, and maybe if you guys like the video, next time I'll try a different color scheme out. So we're going to add the wax. This is going to be done in a very unorganized way, just plopping it in. Sorry, we're usually more careful. And we have some great. I'm gonna also turn the fire up a little bit higher because we have more to melt, but probably turn it down in just a little bit to not, I'm not even sure you can actually burn wax though. Well, if you can burn wax, someone let me know. I'm probably gonna look it up after the video anyways. And we'll be back in a minute with the whole process. Oh, but this melting is really nice. Okay, so maybe we'll stay for a while and watch the melting and just continue.
Maybe the bubbling is a sign of the heat being too high? Let's see. Oh, and again, all the wicks are in here, so I'm going to have to grab a little sieve and scoop them out. Here's a little piece. Probably going to turn amber color. Not really sure. A light purplish red, maybe.
So all the wax is melted, or at least most of it, and we're having some wild colors that are appearing that are mixing ever so slightly with a peachy tone and mad sizzling. Well, I'm not sure if that's normal. maybe almost over bubbling. Oh, Lord. Okay, so it's cooling now. I'm doing something really, really weird. If this is normal, you guys, you candle makers, you're insane. Look at that. Raw. So weird. So I'm just waiting for this to calm down a little bit so I can try and scoop out the wicks. Why can't I ever remember the word? The wicks. And we shall see. So grab my sieve and still have the wax on the heat on a very low setting. And I'm going to try this both ways. I'm going to just put like a half of one of these. I'm going to cut one in half and just like plop it on and leave it in like this, so that I can just mediate how far I want to cut it. And the other one, I'm just going to kind of pre-measure it, because I think that'll probably be what will work the best. I think that's a decent wick size. And we shall see what will happen with our candle. Okay, so the wax cooled down, and I put it at a lower heat setting. And you can see the color, it's actually a reddish purplish tone, kind of hibiscusy, if that's a word. And I'm probably just gonna pour this through a sieve directly into the molds so that we can try and get rid of the wicks. Okay, so the hardest part for me right now is because I have basically 2 hands and a loose wick. And usually the wick has a little base so it doesn't like flop around and you can just like place it on. So I think I'm gonna have to do like a tiny little base of wax first hand and then kind of just like let it rest ever so slightly, so then I can just pour the rest in without fussing too much. So wait, let's see if we'll do it this way. Oh, so way more wax than I wanted to, and spilled some wax in the next cup. See, this is what I mean. Not gonna work. Damn, son. It's okay, trials and errors. And then it goes soft. So we'll put that out to dry again. This is a bit too soft to move. So we shall do with the others ever so slowly. So as you guys can see, I have like very little patience, especially for waiting for things to dry. This is a good moment. Nothing better to do either way. I can imagine that if you had like a little rest, like maybe chopsticks or something of the sort, that you could like create a little support where you rest both of them between, just so you can position them at least. But yet again, lazy. Okay, so I got really excited and put one in before filming. So this is our first base. We have managed one. And the other ones are cooling, so I'm gonna hurry up and do this already so we don't lose our moment of time. Probably gonna use this one as a measure for the other ones. And the deeper ones I'm gonna do the way that I have mentioned previously. Just sticking the whole thing in. So. The bigger ones are still cooling. I'm just gonna drop them off to the side. I've scraped all the excess wax that I left on the counter, and I'm going to be recycling that again and remelting. You can see the color it came out. It's a really nice pinkish color. Kind of looks like a little flower petal. And I'll check on the wax a second to see if we can pour the rest. So putting in the really, really long wicks. Holding them a little bit so they can stay. Please stay. Please stay. So we both decided to simultaneously fall. Simultaneously. Ta-da! Beautiful. A masterpiece. Maybe we can make them lean on each other. Lean on me. See? It's art. Well, you guys can't really see it properly, so I'll show it at another angle. And I'm going to chop up a bit more of white wax so I can fill up the other little cups, which are seemingly lacking. Oh no. So as you can see, biting my tongue, I have cut the other ones as well because they were not standing up. And I shall be cutting the white wax now. So you can make some pretty big chunks in, but generally you want to make everything a bit even so that it melts properly. That's probably something that I should have stated in the beginning of the video though. And I am getting my ass beat by this candle, so I'm probably going to ask a friend of mine who makes candles to show me how to do this properly the next time. Getting back to raising the temperature again. It's already climbing too high. It's too high. And adding the white wax back in. Lower the heat. So also it's kind of hard to do this one-handed. I swear in the near future I am going to find a better setup for this. But since we are working with what we have, this is very suiting for the moment. Ah, candle dust. Beautiful. So the wax is melted and we have a kind of weird peachy color that has some fuzzy base on it. I think it's half from the cotton strings and probably some sort of the wax base that didn't melt properly. I'm going to try and add this in without spilling so much. Kind of hard. Oh, I hope you guys saw that last one. That's how it looks. Very weird. I think I can just like shake this one on there. Throw some glitter. Nope. Well, I'm gonna be melting this one next. Hopefully the glitter doesn't burn. As you guys can see, all my wicks have decided to abandon me. I have been left almost wickless. Shall do this to see if it helps. Oh, it actually works, so maybe that's the solution. Doing a little base so it has support. Which I can after use for other wicks. Wonderful. Oh, damn. Ah, so beautiful. Okay, now we're looking at it from above. You guys can see what a beautiful masterpiece we've made. Should probably rename this video to "Getting Your Ass Beat" by candles. But they are almost done. They are just drying now. And I will show you the results in a bit. It's been approximately 20 minutes and the candles have dried. They're still a bit warm, but they can be demolded. I'm a bit anxious, so I kind of shoved my thumb in this one and it's a bit wonky, but still looking good. Wicks in place. And we shall see. One of them has 3 or 4 layers apparently, and one has all that gloopy stuff in the middle. That was funky looking. It's this one. You can see. It's the puke candle. So we shall start by unraveling the puke candle. There it is, guys. In all its glory. Kind of looks like sand. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, one. So the molds work pretty well. I had heard that silicone might still stick, but silicone's amazing, so I doubted that very strongly. This one's just cute, pink and red. Aw, they turned out so cute. They look like little Valentine's candles. This one's kind of wonky in the shape. Maybe just overfilled it a little bit. So cute. And mega wicks, no? Mega wicks. Probably a bit wasteful. Cut down the next time we try. I think this one, is this one it? No, this one is the 3-layered one. So this one, it's one of the thicker ones. Very cute. The thumb, the anxious thumb one. See some slight overfilling. I'm guessing you could probably trim this if you want, or just be a little bit more careful. Look at the bottom. Oh, it's so cute. And the 3-layered one, which looks more like 1 layer. Nice. Right, 2 layers, sorry. So also because I didn't change the wax much, but I added more white, so I thought it might be a bit of a lighter gradient, but I practically made the same color. Still, looking good. Looking good. The opposite to this one. And also, look at the top. Kind of funky. It's from this funk. Because it was a bit of residue on the pan, and it kind of stayed on top. So it's a misty white. So sure, 3 layers. And just to finish off and show you guys how the wicks looked after I scooped them out of the pan. So maybe just not do this, because it looks kind of like worms or brain matter and a bit wasteful of wax as well. So living and learning. So that's it, guys. Subscribe to my channel. Check out the link below that has my Patreon link so you guys can become my Patreon and help sustain all this beautiful work that's being done. And I'll see you guys next time. If you guys have any suggestions or thoughts on the whole production, please let me know in the comments. Goodbye.
Da da da!